Bree, how does history inform the debate, do you think, that we're having today over Black Lives Matter versus Blue Lives Matter or All Lives Matter?
I don't think it informs the debate enough, which is why people are saying things like Blue Lives Matter and All Lives Matter, because they have no real understanding of why folks are saying Black Lives Matter. For anyone who is new to learning about the Black Lives Matter movement, I don't take credit for Black Lives Matter as an organization, of which I don't belong as a member, or the hashtag or term Black Lives Matter, which has come to popularize this movement, I think very effectively so. I consider myself to be part of a people's movement that has existed for 500 years, from the time that the first Africans were kidnapped. The Ferguson uprising falls on the same historical timeline as the Amistad uprising. And it's important for us to understand that. I mean, I think if you here today have an opportunity, you want a demonstration of why we say Black Lives Matter, I encourage you to go visit the Jefferson Family Graveyard and then go visit the African American burial ground on the site. When you visit the African American burial ground, one of the first things that will strike you is that there are no markers, really, save for a rock. But we know that people are buried there, and we don't know their names. If you visit UVA, UVA was built by enslaved people. There's one plaque on the floor that says, for the hundreds of people, both enslaved and free, who helped realize Thomas Jefferson's vision. Again, we don't know their names, and all of that history informs today.
But, I know a few of the people in Black Lives Matter. I know a lot of activists. I don't know anybody who doesn't say All Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, et cetera, et cetera. I've never met or heard a person involved in the movement saying only Black Lives Matter. Why does this simple statement produce a kind of hysteric reaction when people say, oh no, then you're traducing humanity? Why? Why does it drive some people crazy?
Because it's like shooting an arrow at the bullseye of the nerve of the United States. I mean, the issue, I'm just being honest. I mean, the issue of Black liberation from the foundation of the nation is the question of democracy in America. Is America a democracy when Black people are not free? I mean, that was the question that was being asked here at the time of the American Revolution. And you have to, the people who were enslaved here, the people who were working over at UVA, they had to be asking themselves this question. They're aware that they, serve the president, that they belong to the president, that the president is this man who's renowned for speaking about ideals of liberty and brotherhood and the equality of mankind. So, certainly they had to be asking these questions. And it has always been at odds. As it was said before by Ms. Edelman, this contradiction between creed and deed. Now, you can write anything. I can take this piece of paper and say, these are the rights that I promise you, but if I don't actually honor those rights, do you actually have those rights? So if I have a paper that says I'm entitled to certain rights when I interact with the police, but then when the police violate those rights and there's no accountability, do we actually have those rights? That's the fundamental question of the United States that has existed from its beginning.